happening, everybody? Welcome back to the GR Wisdom channel. Hey, for those of you returning, all my subscribers, I want to thank you for tuning back in, and for those new viewers, thank you for tuning in to my channel. Hey, make sure y'all check out my other videos that I have. You might find something you like. So today I'm going to be talking about this concept, so to speak, or something that, for you ladies, that you may be praying to God for a good man, but he's just not coming along. Now, this is no laughing matter. I'm not doing this as a joke, but it's a lot of women out there. You may be in prayer or in prayer groups or trying to somehow get the right man or have the right man in your life, and you have an idea set in your mind of the way this man should be. You've probably been through a few bad relationships. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you're not even married yet. Maybe you just want to be married just for the sake of being married, because you see everyone else doing it. Or it's just something that society puts upon you, obviously. And if you're in the church, because obviously we're talking about God, if you're in the church, it might be frowned upon because you aren't married, and you may be reaching a certain age, and your Boaz hasn't come about, so to speak. But I'm here to hopefully shed some light. I'm not God or anything, but I'm here to hopefully shed some light on this topic and basically see what it is that's actually going on here. Now, this topic, so to speak, is the subject of many seminars, church lectures, and retreats that women tend to have on how you go about getting the perfect man for you, or your so-called Boaz, so to speak. So, this man, so to speak, the perfect man for you seems to be almost impossible to find, or maybe impossible to come about, or maybe you just might be that picky, and that's the first step. Not to say that you don't deserve this ideal man that you have in your mind, but first thing, you need to come to the realization that no man is perfect, and neither are you as a woman. So that's the first realization you need to come to. A lot of these seminars, whether you're paying or whether the church is funding or whatever, they'll tell you this, this, and this, and build you up, so to speak, and just say that this man, you, by all means, deserve this man by default. And you should have the man making six figures, has a six-pack, long hair, dreads, beard, nice build, tall, dark, and handsome, whatever have you. Whatever it is that you have desired in your mind, that's what you deserve, which, if you feel you deserve it, you deserve it. But if you're waiting for someone who's perfect to come along, you may be waiting for a long time. Not to say that you should settle on anything, but just keep that in mind. So the question that's asked by many women is, where are the good men? There are good men everywhere. It just comes a lot of times on what a woman is attracted to, as opposed to a good man. Not every attractive man is a good man. And I don't mean it can be attractive as far as physically or just the swagger of this man doesn't make him a good man. But every woman, just like every man, has a type. Men are attracted to women that may not be the best for them. But that's just the way we are. Everyone has their own personal preference. So when we get into the whole spiritual realm, so to speak, of God, God is supposed to be there for you. He's supposed to be granting he's supposed to be answering your prayers. And your prayer is this man, this ideal man that you have, which you should be very specific in your prayers. But many of you may start to question things and say, not so much is God real, but is God faithful when it comes to this man? And a lot of times you're wondering, which I talk a lot about this in my videos, but why is it that you're still single? Why hasn't this man come along? Why isn't God sending me this man that I'm praying for to complete me? Well, first, as I said, along with, what I discussed earlier, what is your lifestyle? You're asking God for something. You're making a supplication to God for something. You're requesting something. But what is your lifestyle? Are you ready for this man that you're asking for? Are you totally prepared from an objective standpoint? And when I say an objective standpoint, from not just your female friends, but if you have a male, not so much a male friend, but a male relative, so to speak, to basically say, look at you objectively, with no ulterior motive, so to speak, and say, yes, you are ready for God to send you this man. However it comes about, for this man to enter your life, do you have the foundation and everything set up, so to speak, or are you wanting this man to complete you to the point where I don't want to say messed up, but you're not completely all together, but this man will be the one to fix whatever issues you have in your life? That's a question you need to ask yourself. And what is it that you're searching for? Are you searching for a man that's just going to be there? Do you just want to be a man that's going to be there when you go to sleep? A man that's going to be there when you wake up? And all of this stuff like that. In that case, you most likely want a man that's unemployed, which I don't know how well that's going to sit with you. Some of you may just want a man that's unemployed that'll just be there, at all times. But once again, it comes back to who's vetting this man. Who's vetting these men? Is it God that's vetting these men? Is it you that's personally vetting these men? That you're basically going off of, you're seeing things just with your eyes, the aesthetic part of this man, this swagger? Or is it God that's vetting this man? Have there men that's been trying to court you, or men that have been genuine but you just overlooked based upon a simple shortcoming with this man? Those are things that need to be discussed, just the fact of you being ready. When we tend to pray for stuff and we ask for stuff, but when we pray to this almighty force, we don't get to decide when things happen. Just like you don't decide when you're born, or you don't decide when you die. That point in place, you don't even control your own heartbeat. So you don't necessarily control when a man is sent to you. As I say that. So that's just something to keep in mind. Another thing you need to keep in mind is your attitude. And I say this in a lot of my videos. With your attitude in general, are you just mean as hell? Are you uptight? If you're educated, and there's nothing wrong with an educated woman, but do you just feel that just completes you as a whole, and every man should be happy to be with you just because you have a bachelor's or a master's or a doctorate and such, and that's your claim to fame, your trump card, your ace in the hole is your education, and you're just, set on, well, if he doesn't have the same education as mine, he can't be with me. Well, I'm not going to settle for that. I'm not going to settle for a blue-collar man. Not to say that you have to be with a complete bum, but you have this set in your mind, I'm not going to be with a blue-collar man. This man has had the same education level, if not higher. But you need to realize the demographic that you're in. As far as, you being a woman and you outnumber men, so to speak, altogether. So, and women tend to be more educated, or more college educated, so to speak, in certain things. So that's something you need to consider as well. So if you're just looking at, you just mean as hell, you have an attitude, your education is just like, if I don't have, which I understand you have your own thing, but these are just things to consider. Just hear me out. You probably like, yelling at the screen, talking trash right now, but just hear me out. Calm down. So if your head is in the clouds as far as that, that's another thing. The next thing is, as far as the type of man you want, you may want an alpha male, but you want an alpha male with beta male characteristics, which is something that is just, okay. You may want to be the matriarch, so to speak, of the relationship or of the family where you're running everything. But you may just want a patriarch or a man, alpha male, who's running things a certain way, but you want that alpha male to also be submissive to certain things at the same time. Those are things that women tend to look for in a man. They want to specify alpha male with beta characteristics, which is just its own purple unicorn in itself, right there. That's just another one of those things. So, like I said, another thing, you want a man to always be there. When you wake up, go to sleep, but you want a rich man at the same time. You can't have both. Not to say it doesn't exist, but it's just a matter of compromising. You want a man that's not going to cheat on you, but you don't want a man that's all up under you at the same time. So it's constantly, this, and this. You just want a man to be there. You just want him to love you in your entirety. You want a man to support you, motivate you, buy you roses, write you love letters, cards, compliment you day in and day out, do surprise stuff, texting, all this stuff like that. But as I said, there's no such thing as a perfect man. So when you're praying, you define what it is that you want. You have to understand, when you pray, that there will be a man that is being sent or may have come to you that is going to accept you for your flaws, for you, who is going to build you up, who is going to stay with you. But if God was to send everything in the man that you asked for in your prayers, would you be ready to receive that man? What would you do if he just bumped into you at the grocery store, knocked on your door immediately? What would you do? Because of your past relationships, you might not even be able to recognize him, even if he showed up right in your face or on a silver platter, so to speak. Is that really what you want? Ask yourself that. So just remember, in the ways of God, the way God works, God knows what's best and you know not. You may like something that's bad for you, and you may hate a thing that's good for you, but God knows and you know not. So your past, everything that's happened to you, anything that has struck you in life was not meant to have missed you. Anything that's missed you was not meant to have come to you. So whatever happens to you as far as relationships and men who come into your life, it was meant. Many times, a lot of you ladies, y'all know what y'all getting into when y'all meet a man or a man approaches you. You know what a man is about initially, but you just in denial. You want to lie to yourself. You're hoping that you can change someone, but that's not the case. And that happens a lot. You're hoping that you can change this man, but you already know what it's about, and then you always end up in disappointment. The looks, the swag, his sexual prowess, whatever. But at the end of the day, he's not about anything. But this is, like I said, what's going on. what the way God is, God has his own method of doing things. And he will teach you a lesson with these men until it hurts. Like, till it completely hurts and destroys you. And where you learn some benefit from it, where you know what to look for the next time a man comes along. So, be honest in your prayers. Be bone cold honest with yourself. And ask yourself, are you ready for the man that you're asking for? That's all I have to say about that. I hopefully that sheds some light on some of you ladies, and I want to hear your comments, share this with all your friends, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, click on the bell to get all the notifications. Follow me on social media. The link is in the description. Follow me on Amazon. Check out my books. If you like the content, I'm going to keep it coming, obviously. Throw a couple coins in the well of wisdom, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace be upon you all, and remember, anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. Peace.